We work together to do the same thing that I was kind of solving by myself. And I think that process is so much more powerful. And I also have a true belief that the answers are in the room. Where somebody says something brilliant, I'm just the listener, right? We say this a lot, Michelle, you can't see the label of the jar you're in. I can hear I'm trained to hear the brilliance and pull that out of them.
Which is the lesson that I've been learning too, is like trusting that that person has access to those answers. And really, you're not the savior, you're not the hero doing it for them, saving them. You're the guide that's leading them to their own truth.
Yeah. The more I got into really helping people communicate more effectively, interpersonally, and really helping people with their leadership, understanding who they are, how they show up, how they can, show up more for themselves and be able to do that for others. Just the more powerful it became, the easier it became, the better clients I attracted. And what I have now is a really cool thing because I help organizations. Like I just did a facilitation last week and on the medicine and the cure. So maybe
we'll talk about that.
Yeah, I went all deep on that with this group. And then sometimes in those trainings, I'll identify people that I think would be perfect for my course. And my course takes individuals from different organizations and puts them together. So I can work on like a B2B model or a B2C model, right?
Okay, so this is interesting for people listening.
Right, and it can feed into each other.
Right,
so
I'll explain that, yeah.
So like I did a training with this organization and we redid their messaging. They got a new director. Their identity was shifting and they really wanted some messaging to reflect that. And I went in, I did my whole process and it was awesome. And during that process, there was somebody who was on the team and that was working on this. And I knew that person was perfect for my influence course. I just knew it. I brought up, drama triangle or something, and her face just lit up, and I'm like, okay.
Oh, yeah, you're one of mine. You're one of us.
And so I didn't say that though, but I'm like, so are you looking, could we have a conversation? And she said, yeah, and she wound up enrolling in my course, and now she wound up enrolling in my back end. So, and the other way it can work is there's people who take my course, who then invite me to bring this content into their organization, which is like when I was talking about the sisters and the work that I'm doing with this group, with this order of sisters, there's 2 people from that organization. One's in my course right now and one's in my back end. And so when I went into there to support them in their messaging, they're already enrolled. They already get what I do. You know what I mean? And so it can work either way and it can feed into each other.
Okay, so just to clarify, for those of you watching, you might not be aware of all the terminology she uses. Although if you're watching my videos consistently, you probably are. But what we're talking about here is Maryanne has a consulting and coaching model. So she works with, and correct me if I mess any of this up. She works with individuals and she also works with organizations. The organizations she works with tend to be our nonprofits, and they're trying to improve their fundraising. They're trying to, improve their executive director relationship with the board so that they can raise more money. And what happened during COVID was that these individuals in the nonprofits that she was talking to were saying, I love what you do. I want to hire you, and I can't get my board to say yes to it. So then Maryanne created a B2C, basically an influence course for those individuals. So now she's got 2 offerings. She's got an offering for the organization itself. She does board retreats, she does consulting, all of that good stuff. And really the lead-in is to work with an individual in the organization to teach them how to wield more influence inside the organization. And so now sometimes she'll get a corporate gig working in the organization and also be able to say, oh, that person is perfect for my influence course, and then she can go and enroll them. So that's a beautiful part of your model, I think, is that you serve both the individual, and that person can pay out of their pocket, or maybe they can go to their boss or to their board and get funds for it, or she can work with the organization. And often when an individual works with you, then they'll bring you into the organization also.
Yeah.
So everything is feeding everything else in your business.
Yeah.
And how does that serve you? How is that different perhaps than what other people are doing or what you used to be doing?
Well, I mean, it serves me really well. I'm not sure how to answer that question.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, I feel like what it does is it allows me to serve people on different levels based on their needs.
Yeah.
And also, the same thing I look for in an individual is the same thing I look for in an organization, right? They're committed to their outcomes. They want to get better. They're not abdicating or giving me like, here, can you fix this for me? Like, they want to work with me in the process of what we call co-creation, right? I don't do stuff for people.
Got it.
Right?
Ooh, I witnessed a standard right there. That's what we call a standard. Did you hear that? I don't do stuff for people.
I'm out to revolutionize an industry, so I can't update your web content.
Right. Love it. I want you all to hear that. Like, that's so powerful.
I can put you with people who absolutely can do that, but that's just not what I do. And I co-create. So I'll show you the process and we'll do it together. And for many years, and I'm not diminishing the work I did, you know, but you know better, you do better. Like where I was going into organizations and then I'd write these plans and I'd be in my little office by myself writing these plans like, why am I sitting here solving all your stuff? And the back and forth and the plan and all of that. And I just kind of chucked all that and said, let's just do this process of co-creation. We'll create it together in real time live. And then, you know, and so we work together to do the same thing that I was kind of solving by myself. And I think that process is so much more powerful. And I also have a true belief that the answers are in the room. And sometimes that's a little scary, okay? Like
meaning, like, you don't think you have to come up with all the answers. You have to trust that it's going to show up.
So, let's say we're working on some messaging. We're going to do like a tagline or a value statement or something. And like I choose I choose to trust that the answers are, all the magic is in the room that I need, right? And it's never failed me. And where somebody says something brilliant, I'm just the listener, right? We say this a lot, Michelle. You can't see the label of the jar you're in. I can hear I'm trained to hear the brilliance and pull that out of them. And also to understand the dynamics of what could possibly keep them from using this to the fullest advantage. Like, so helping with that internal communication that could put a barrier to the external communication. So that is the biggest thing, because there's a lot of people and they do great work that can help you with your messaging. I just go at it from a much deeper approach.
Yeah. Well, because it you know, part of what we've talked about, and again, you are the embodiment of this, is like living the message. And it doesn't work for you to slap a label onto a client, just like it doesn't work for me to slap a business model onto a client, which I used to try to do. Like, here's the answer, here's your model, here's your strategy, go have at it. And I would often be disappointed. Like, why didn't you do it? Why didn't you implement it? Why didn't you execute on this plan? It's like, because it wasn't aligned for the person. It was my idea. It was my thing. I liked it. But the person that needs to like it is them. The nonprofit is the one that needs to really want it.
And when they come up with it,
then
they're going to love it.
They own it.
Right.
And so in order for you as a consultant, as a leader, which is the lesson that I've been learning too, is like trusting that that person has access to those answers. And really, you're not the savior. You're not the hero doing it for them, saving them. You're the guide that's leading them to their own truth.
Yes.
And that is a much more powerful role to play. And you said it yourself. I'm here to revolutionize an industry. You can't do that if you're doing it for everybody. You've got to empower other people.
Yes.
Yeah. So as coaches and leaders, I think this is a really important point for you as watchers of my channel. What kind of coach are you going to be? What kind of consultant are you going to be? Are you going to be the kind that, hey, I'll save you, I'll solve your problem for you, I'll do all this for you. Yes, I'll stay up late, I'll update your website. Or are you going to be the kind of leader who says, hey, I'm going to teach you how to become empowered so that you can do this for yourself? It's like teaching a man or a woman to fish, as opposed to handing them the fish, which is also in line with your philosophy on nonprofits as well.
Yes.
Thank you, Maryanne. That was juicy information, very powerful. If you're curious about learning more, I highly recommend checking out Maryanne's book, Courageous Communication. It's a great book about taking a stand for what you believe in.
What I found is people want to be like, oh, that's personal and that's professional, and there's these two different like ways of living, when actually it's all combined, right? And my ability to give value in one area increases my ability to give value in another area. And that's what I found for me, is this was a whole other way of communicating, to where I don't have to pitch or sell even like my husband on something.